Welcome to the Marshes, a remarkable group of farms with an incredible farming story. The farms are on the Essex Coast, situated in the Dengie 100, and most of the land is below sea level. We are one of the largest producers of milling wheat in the country. We are the largest producer of marrowfat peas in the UK. We supply premium rapeseed to Unilever. We grow alfalfa for high quality horse feed. We supply energy to the national grid. And we're landlord to a host of world-class businesses. Together with my team, we would like to show you the key points of our farming calendar. Today is a bitterly cold March day down on the Burnham Marshes. Today we're planting spring peas for the premium marrowfat market. This is a seed that we are putting in the ground. They're dressed with a chemical dressing to protect against various fungal diseases through the season. This is what our peas will look like when they're processed over in the Far East. So they travel from the Burnham Marshes all the way over to Asia and back again to the bars in the UK. A very tasty snack. This is the biggest seed planter that is currently on the market in the UK. Incredible bit of kit, and he can travel 16 to 18 kilometres an hour, planting around 200 acres a day. We always say it's a good day to be planting peas if it's windy enough that you have to chase the empty seed bags across the field, and today is a perfect example of that. One of the things I'd like to explain to you is how carefully we use inputs on the farm. Today's job is fertiliser. Here we have our fertiliser broadcaster. It's controlled by satellite. This machine spreads fertiliser to a width of 32 metres across the field, so the fertiliser is applied incredibly precisely. The advantage of spreading the fertiliser so accurately, it means we get a good, even, level crop all the way across the field. It's one thing having clever bits of machinery on the farm, but without the right people to use the machinery, it is wasted money. And I'm very fortunate to have a great team of men on the farm. Here we are in the crop of Oilseed Rape with its lovely bright yellow flowers. This year's crop is looking really promising. It's been flowering for a nice long while now, and it's got a lovely rich dark colour to it. As you can see now, there's pods just down the bottom here just starting to form. So where does all our oilseed rape go? The majority of oilseed rape in the country is crushed and is made into cooking oil. But here at Burnham-on-Crouch we are going for a premium market for Unilever. To get this premium, we are a member of the Leaf Mark scheme. This is a farm assurance scheme. As a result of this, we have to prove that we are farming in a sustainable and an environmentally friendly way. And the result of all this is that we get £15 per tonne more. So the next time that you're making a sandwich, the wheat that goes into that bread could well have been grown here, and the oil that goes into the margarine and the mayonnaise could well have been produced here as well. An important part of our business is energy. Here we are at Raywick Farm, where we have got a joint project with our neighbours for 9 2.3 megawatt wind turbines. This part of Essex is a great part of the country for wind turbines. There are big open spaces and big skies, and there's nothing to interrupt the wind. And all you can really hear is the swoosh of the blades going round above us and the gentle hum of the inverter at the base of the turbine. Also on the farm we've got 6 sites for solar panels. A further thing we do is supply straw to the power station at Ely. Energy has become a very important part of our business with the solar panels, the wind turbines and the straw. It's now probably bringing in 20–25% of our profit to the business. This crop that I'm standing in now is an unusual crop that we grow. This is a field of Lucerne, or you might know it as alfalfa. We plant Lucerne in the spring. Unlike all our other crops, it will stay in the same field for 3 years. Lucerne is really well suited to the Essex soils that bake out during our dry summers. It is very deep rooted and so it can suck moisture from great depth. It is also a nitrogen fixing crop, and so after 3 years, when the crop is removed and another crop is established, then there is still nitrogen available for the following crop. Dengie, the cooperative who we grow the crop for, come in with their forage harvesters and remove the crop, take it away and dry it at their base at Ashildham, which is about 5 miles from here. This field will be cut 3 times this year by Dengie. This is another example of us growing a premium crop for a quality market. My Lucerne goes from this to this, a high quality product for the equine market. It is the only crop that we grow that does not go to feed people, but it is still a product with a premium price. Amongst the land that we farm, we have some great history. Here behind me is St Peter's Chapel. It's one of the oldest buildings in the country, built in the 7th century. And here on the farm is an example of more modern history. This is a Second World War mine control tower. If you can imagine, back in 1940, when we were waiting for the Germans to invade, there was a string of mines put across the River Crouch, and a group of Marines were stationed here in this tower behind me to detonate the mines if the invasion ever came. Here we are at Damerwick Farm. This group of farm buildings is now converted completely to commercial lets. We have just over 30 commercial lets scattered across the farm, and it provides a good income to supplement the farming side of the business. We have a very diverse range of businesses here, from boat builders through to carpet suppliers, people supplying ice creams, coving makers and general storage.
We occupy 2 of the old barns, and I think it was a cowshed. People fly in to look at our boats from all over the world who take the train out to Burnham and can't believe that in a rural area that there's this sort of industry going on.
It's interesting to think that there's probably about 50 people employed here now from a range of that would otherwise be redundant farm buildings. It's August and it's harvest time. At harvest time, we bring in 6 extra men, and these are in addition to the 6 full-time men who are here for the rest of the year. We aim to keep the combines rolling while the weather's nice to get as much of our harvest done in the glorious weather like we've got today. If we have a breakdown, the pressure is on to get the problem sorted as quickly as possible, and that's when the team pulls together and get the wheels moving again. As we cut the wheat, it is unloaded into the trailers on the move, so the combines never stop moving. The wheat is then carted into the barns where it is stored until next spring when it goes out to the mills. Earlier this year, on one day, we had 25 loads of wheat come out of store. We loaded it into lorries and it went off to the mills. Each one of those lorries contained enough wheat to produce nearly 60,000 loaves of bread. We supply enough wheat from these farms to produce about 20 million loaves, which is enough to keep the UK in bread for about 2 days. Here's another example of how we make the most from the crops that we grow. From the wheat grown on the Marshes group of farms, we get about £250,000 worth of straw that comes out the back of the combines. It costs us about £100,000 a year to bale the straw up and get it into a condition so it can be sold to the power station, but that still gives us a healthy profit. This year has been another challenging year with the very mild winter that led to lots of disease and insects and bugs getting carried over in the crops through the winter for not being killed by the cold weather, through to a very dry spring that led to difficulty in establishing spring crops. Then of course followed by a very wet June when we had 400% more rain than we normally do, that has especially spoilt the peas this year and lowered the wheat yields. But we've been followed by a nice dry spell during harvest. The team has all worked well, the harvest is all gathered in, and now we're turning our attention to next year.